Hi, guys. In this section, we're going to talk about sales pages and landing pages. So once you've got your ad set up, you do need to also have a checkout page or a sales page to lead people to for your product. And I always say the less steps for the buyer, the better. So if you can lead people right from your ad to a checkout page or a landing page where it just makes it so easy for them to click to buy, that's going to be the best way to go about this, especially with low ticket offers. If you have a high ticket offer, more likely, at least this is what I've seen, more likely people are going to need to be much more warmed up or have a personal conversation with someone. That's not always the case, okay? But what I will say is if you're doing things on more high ticket end, you need to either be really good at writing copy, and I do know some people that do that really, really well. It's an art form, and so they're able to transition people from reading a post to going right into a DM and saying, "Hey, I want what you're offering. Send me the offer right now." Um, that takes a lot of finesse with your copy to be able to do that. The nice thing about lower ticket offers is there's not so much that barrier of needing to be convinced to pay a ton of money for what you're offering. So if it's a low ticket offer or like a digital product, even that's like a mid-level, offer, you may not need to do a whole ton of convincing for someone to like pull out their credit card, right? Or to buy, what you're offering. So what I want to do in this video is I would love to show you a sales page and show you how easy it can be with some of these platforms because they give you sales page builders that you can use. So I use Teachable, and then I've used other things like Standstore, Kajabi, and all of them. They all do a pretty good job of giving you a sales page builder. And so all you have to do is drop text in and drop images in, but you do want to go about this in a way that will, make it super easy for people so that when they come to that landing page or that sales page, you are really like communicating to them, in the right way that this is the thing that's going to solve their problem. Okay? So right away, like you're going to see from the very first sentence, like the very first thing that you want to put on that page, it needs to be the name of your product, which should be named in a way that describes exactly like what this product does for people, and then communicate to them, that it's going to solve some kind of major problem, for them. So I'm going to go ahead and share my page so that you guys can see the sales page that I built for a course that I have that's a investing course. And it is right now on Teachable. And so this particular course, this sales page is in Teachable, and you end up getting a link at the top. You can see this is my course container that I have for all my courses is my Amanda Gatlin Teachable, and then you'll see the course name in there. And this just is a preview of this page, so this is not normally in the URL, but you can choose to have the name, of it, or you can pick a URL specifically for your sales page or your landing page. Now you can also create many sales pages or landing pages and test them out. I would say to think about testing out from an angle of what are the problems you're solving with your product. So you may want to do a little bit of a list, on some paper, just list out like, these are the main problems that my product actually solves. And then write up your sales page in a way that you're talking about that problem and how this product solves it. So you're going to see whenever you build a sales page or a landing page, you're basically wanting to do a couple of major things. And I want to talk about those first. The first thing is to explain what it does. Okay? People need to know, what does this thing do? And they're going to know right away by reading that or reading those words on your page. Is this for me? Does it solve my problem? So you're going to see, and I'm going to point out as we scroll down through this landing page, um, does this thing, am I explaining what it does? Am I building trust and showing proof of it doing that? And does it show the transformation? Okay. You want to have all of that explained very simply and very easily in the sales page. And there's going to be a template. So I'm going to have a template in this lesson that you can use and fill in, for yourself, and just drop in, your own product name, the problem it's solving, the transformation that they're going to get, some of the proof or the testimonials that you may have already from some friends or family or people that you've, worked with already, or even share your own story. That's a great way of getting proof, to people. But the two main things that you're doing on your sales page is explaining what it does and building that trust with your buyer. Okay. So first off, you can see right away the name of this course is Investing with Ease. And that's what the course provides. It's a product that helps people invest with ease. So I'm taking the pressure off of people who are like finding investing to be very burdensome, or like a lot of work or very overwhelming. I want it to be easy for them. So right away, I prompted them with this question: are you ready to build wealth with less effort? Okay. So on Teachable, they also have the ability, you can put buttons in on Teachable, which is really nice. And a lot of the platforms do offer this. And I'm going to go over on the buttons. These are what we call to action buttons that you can use them to put in phrases that sound very friendly. So you want to say things like, I'm ready, I want in, I'm here for this, like show me how to get it now. You want to act as if you're communicating like with a friend, and you were telling them, this is the thing that I've created. And as you're talking about it, they're getting so excited that they want it right now. And so think about the words that they would say to you. I want this now. I want to try this out. Let me in now. Like, let me see it now. I would love to see that now. So think of those phrases. Those are great to put on your call to action buttons. Okay, so it sounds really friendly and like down to earth. So I'm going to scroll down, and right away you can see that what I'm touching on here is like saying to them, hey, if you're a beginner, and even if you have debt, you can still invest. And what I want you to notice is that the words are big and bold. There's lots of breathing room here. There's lots of white space. Just because you have a page doesn't mean that you need to fill it with a bunch of words. Okay. The less words, the better, actually, on a sales page, because in this day and time, people don't have a lot of time, and they don't want to spend a lot of time reading your sales page. They just want to know, is this for me? What does this thing do? Is it for me? And is it something that is real and like I can trust it? Can I trust this person who is presenting this product? So you can see here the next phrase that I have as you scroll down builds trust. Over the last 6 months, I've made over 5 figures each month while simply watching my investments. My students are learning to do the same. Okay, so just in this little phrase, I'm sharing a little tidbit about my own experience with investing, how successful I've been with it, and that I'm helping others do this too now. And I can do it easily. I sit back and I watch my investments. I'm not doing a ton of work, is what I'm saying in this phrase. So I want you to see that, again, there's a lot of breathing room here. I'm not getting into a lot of details. I'm not sharing a bunch of like storyline and stuff. I'm not doing that yet. I'm going to get into some of that as we go. Now, this is also great. Something like this kind of image is great to have at the top of your page as your product. This is also something that we've tested out, is having the image of, the computer screen and the product on, say, other devices, as well as some of the um, tips and the cheat sheets and things like that that they're going to get inside of the course. It can kind of like build authority, show them some of the product, what they're going to get. Sometimes you'll have, like the modules here, like module 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have that. You can have some of the tips or the guidebooks or the modules showing up on something like this. So this is great to put at the top or throughout the sales page as well, to show them like this is an actual product. This is what the product is. And then as I keep scrolling, again, you can see what I'm doing here is I'm explaining what it does and I'm building trust. So in this section, this is more like a trust building section where I'm asking them, about their situation. What would you do if you were consistently making passive income? And I'm tapping into some of their problems here. So I'm helping them see the transformation that they can have, through taking this course. Maybe some of them want the transformation of paying off their debt. Maybe some of them want to be able to take their families on vacation and they haven't been able to. Maybe they want to live a lifestyle that's completely different or contribute to their retirement. Maybe they just want to like look for other ways to multiply their money, whatever it is, whatever they are wanting to get from like the transformation is the important thing that you want to show here. So you want to maybe list out for yourself, and you're going to see in the template and in the prompts that I give you, I'm going to prompt you. You'll have that chance to plug in some of the problems that you think your person may have. And then you can also ask AI for help with this, because AI is going to help you brainstorm and come up with some of the problems, that your ideal client may have, to actually like relate to them. And then you'll be able to put that on your sales page. So the thing that you want to do is you want to put them in this place of like imagining what life would be like to have these things, and that's where you're helping them see the result. By getting this product, you're going to get this result. And that's how you're explaining what it does, basically, with the sales page. So, and you can see here, I had, now imagine growing your income month after month, freeing yourself from financial stress. So I'm basically telling them, like, this is the transformation you're going to have. You're no longer going to have that stress and those worries and those doubts, not being able to pay your bills, not being able to go on vacation and those things. Now you've got money growing for you, an income that's passive, and it just comes to you. So in the next section, I just want to show you, this is an example of proof. So these are numbers that I show. I'm very transparent about things with money. That's how I build trust with my people, is by being very open and vulnerable, about the money that I've been able to save and invest over the years, and then show them like this is what I was able to do. And now my money compounds, and I'm showing them how that works. And I'm giving them an example of like, this is what could be, for you too. By just showing them proof, I'm saying, hey, I'm an authority on this. This is something that I've done. I've accomplished it. I'm an expert at this, and I have something to share, with you. And I want you to listen up, like come over here and listen, to what I have to offer here, because it is something of value, and I know that it's going to change your life. So in this section, we're just getting into the what part of it, what it does. Again, so it's going to, on your sales page, always be thinking about explaining what it does, building the trust, or showing the transformation. Okay, doing those main things. If you can, even if you want to take a piece of paper out and put each of those down as headings, explaining what it does, showing the transformation, and building trust, or getting proof out there. Under each of those headings, what I would do is just jot down what ideas come to you, about, even if you wanted to put a little paragraph under explain what it does, blah, 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 blah. This is what it does. Okay. Um, and that will help you build out your sales page. I do have the prompts, on the in the lesson. And so you can just print that out if you want, or use those prompts to help guide you, okay, through this process. And then the template, like I said, you're just going to plug in things for that template, and it should help you come up with a really good starting point, like a good sales page. But I wanted to show you an example of one so that you could see, even here on this section here, the words are big and bold. They're very easy to read. There's breathing room between each section. There's lots of white space here that, I've bolded the important points. So if people do want to scroll, they can read through some of these and go, do I need to read about any of these important points here? Um, so you just want to make sure to like make it so it's easy for people. We don't want to like overcomplicate this, and we don't want to have like just so much writing on the page that it's so overwhelming, for a person. Because I know personally, when I go onto a sales page, if I see a ton of writing like that, I'll start reading like the section, but then sometimes I'm like, okay, scroll, scroll, keep going, because I just don't have time, and I'm not that interested in reading, reading about the product. It's like, just show me the highlights of the product, and I'll figure out, is it for me? Um, if it hits on some major pain points for me, that I know this is going to be the top thing on your sales page. If you know this thing is going to like solve a problem that they've been like staying up at night over, you need to express that on your sales page, and really make it clear. Like, has your kid been having accidents, embarrassed, and feeling bad about it, then this product is going to show you how to help stop that, right? If you're a parent who has that issue, and your child is going through that and feels embarrassed by it, they want to know right now how they can fix that. That's not something that they want to like, read a bunch of stuff right now about it. They want to know, does your product help them? Is it go over the key points about, what you're going to do, what this is about, and if it's going to help them, and if they see it's going to, they're going to buy it because it's going to solve their problem right now. So you can see here that I've included what it does. This goes over, all of the things in the course about what it does for them. Now, throughout the page, you can sprinkle in pricing, for the course, as well as these buttons, the call to action buttons. And as you can see here, I've put, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to sign up. So having phrases like I'm ready, I want in, you can even use your name, like they're talking to you. So you can say like, Mandy, I want in now. Whatever sounds friendly, right, for the button is what's going to be the best. And then, of course, you want to have some proof. You want to have some testimonials. You want to share some of the things that this did for people, the change or the transformation that they had, the result that they had. The more, the better. If you can put in success stories or testimonials, then that's going to help a lot. And you can do little screenshots. People do little screenshots of testimonials all the time on sales pages. So you can also sprinkle in pictures and photographs of, you doing something with the product or the product helping someone. Make sure the photo makes sense, that it's relatable to people. So if you have a picture of your proof, that's great too in some way. And as you can see here, so I just break it up with images. That's also great to do on your sales page. And then you can get into like, is this course for them? You not only explaining what it does, but like helping them see like, is this actually for me? That can help as a section as well. And then I always offer up at the end to do an FAQ section so that they can, any question that you think they may have about the course, you can put answers, into this. So you can make it very clear whether you do refunds or not, how long they have access to the course for, what they're truly getting, like if it's so many modules, or if there's a bonus included or not, really talking about some of the things that people may ask, about the course. Like, do you need to be advanced to understand this, investing thing? And I'm like, no, you can just be a beginner. It's totally fine. Um, and you just want to keep going and like answer as many questions as you think they may have. It's totally fine to do that ahead of time so that people can find, like, is this clearly for me or not? And then just make sure to have like the buttons sprinkled throughout the page. And you may even on Teachable, you can have a little preview of the course, which is really nice. They can see, what the modules and the lessons are in the course. And again, you can see here, I'm just once again explaining, what it does, why I created it. And then towards the end, you can have a little bit about you or your own story, what you went through, what you experienced. Sometimes that's really great to do too, because it makes it very relatable. All right. So go ahead and use the prompts that I've put into the lesson to start mapping out your sales page. And then once you've got those prompts, the information, you can go to the template and just plug in all of the information into your template and build your sales page. I would say over a course of a day or two, if you can, try to stick with it and really just complete it and get it done. Done is better than perfect in this case. And once you have that done, then you can link up your ad right to the sales page. And then you can have your checkout page. So I want to show you too on this. Once they click on a button in Teachable, it's going to take them to this checkout page. Now, you can have your link go directly to this checkout page. What I'll do often is just copy, Control C, copy this link, and I'll put it as the link from the ad too. So I'll test out in different cases, I'll test out having the link just go right to the checkout page as opposed to the entire sales page. And on this checkout page, you can have, a little bit about what the course is and what other people say. And of course, the price is on here. But again, the less steps, the better. So if you want to just have them go right to the checkout page, that's also great to do. But feel free to test out like I said, multiple sales pages to see if one in particular starts performing really well, then you would want to add more ad money towards going to that page in particular, once you've narrowed it down. And you can play with this too in social media and have different stories with different links going to different pages too. And so you can really test out and see what gets the best response. And then just do more of that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the share here, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.